This worked last time. It says live stream, customer TP. Need more streaming power.
You tried using AI?
Oh, it's happening. Go live. Okay.
Here we go.
Fucking
What was the
A.
solution?
Well, there's my.
You weren't.
Okay, I just dropped a.
You weren't live yet when you said that. Doesn't have to go into the swear jar yet.
Dang it.
Oh.
Hang on, I have to mute myself.
Yeah, I just did that too.
Here we go. Okay. I think we did it, man.
Sweet. Well, we successfully. Hopefully, this is one of those things where the professors didn't show up for 5 minutes and everyone left.
No one comes to these anyway, so it's good.
You said 1,000 people saw our first
Okay,
one. That's
1,000
so
people, but I wonder too if they're just 2 minutes and then they're like, I'm done, I should look at the
Whatever,
analytics.
hits are hits, right? How long on this page? 3 seconds. Saw the echo, ran away.
I hate these people. Nilo and Allison are stupid. Okay. That no one put that yet in the comments. All right. Hey, Nilo. Got a joke for me?
What's up? Yeah. Here's my joke today is, why don't scientists trust atoms?
Something about they're nothing, or they're filled with air.
No, but that works. But they make up everything. Yeah. Gotcha. Nerd joke this time. Went away from the fart jokes.
Oh man, the fart jokes is so good. Okay, I have a good one. Why did the new friends walk out onto a frozen pond together?
I haven't. Why?
So they were trying to break the ice.
Aw.
I thought, I was trying to do because this is non-political, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I needed a nice joke in there, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got a joke for later too, if we get to it. So.
Always a great pickup line is how much does a polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice.
Oh,
how are you? Yeah, solid.
That's a good dad joke. I like that.
Yeah. Solid dad.
All right, we got stuff this week. Let's talk.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. We were gonna have a guest, but unfortunately not this week. But we will start having guests, and I think we're just gonna I don't know. Maybe we'll just surprise everybody. Just be like,
I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't know, unless the guest actually wants to tell people about it beforehand.
That's true.
They might. Yeah.
But Smartless, I listen to Smartless. I love it, and they kind of surprise each other each week. So maybe you and I could try we could surprise each other. Maybe that's the thing to do. And
yeah, you don't tell me. That's even better.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
just show up. It's just our siblings, Aaron and Nick show up. Yeah. That'd be great.
Gosh, actually might be onto something.
That'd be good.
Big news this week. No de novos came out and no PMAs. I didn't find any, and maybe actually I haven't looked for today, but
one of the more recent PMAs that we didn't talk about it's not a PMA. It was actually a breakthrough that I saw just come across my an announcement of a breakthrough. Mm-hmm. I think it's an implantable hemodialysis system. And I honestly I think the company's name was Nephrodite, which I thought was fun. Just a good solid pun on their thing, and I thought that was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. I hope that ends up being as cool as it sounds.
Did you know, actually, Nephrodite
early.
is the 2025 girl baby name of the year? I'm just kidding. But now you heard it. This might be for 2026.
Honestly, I drop off my daughter at daycare every day, and some of the names in there, I would have believed it. To be perfectly honest, there's some good ones. I always didn't believe the teachers. I was like, oh, that's just a fun story. No one's actually named that. That's an urban legend that's been passed down. And now I see some of the names. I'm like, no, someone definitely named their kid Orangelo, Orange Jello. Actually,
I kind of like that. Don't knock Orange Jello until you try it. Yeah, true that. I feel like there's some names I'm like, wow, that is unique. I saw last night about the general wellness town halls coming up.
Yeah, I also saw that, which I'm super interested in because of all the changes on the general wellness, and I'm curious to hear what the FDA says about it.
Yeah.
Erica Takai, also, who she's great, but she's also recently posted. There was like an actual blood pressure for non-cuffless blood pressure guidance that also came out.
Came out Friday. Draft.
Yeah, draft. But I'm like, how does this exist next to the wellness guidance that's kind of going? Blood pressure is included in wellness. Like, what are we gonna do?
I'm so pop your popcorn. I'm coming to that town hall meeting, and I used to like. I always like to ask questions. You know, clearly I'm a very curious human, but I like to ask questions in the town halls and like first just thank them for actually doing these, because I feel like there was a huge period last year where like no town hall, everything got canceled. Like everything was just kind of like, you know, figure it out yourselves. And so I'm glad that they're doing these. And I also like you can like click the ask question, and then they usually pick you in the order that you like pushed your button. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I was always the asshole that they were like, Allison, can you unmute yourself? I'm like, damn it. I sound like the ooh, pick me. But I hope they do it. I hope they actually allow people to ask questions. I feel like it'll be really well attended, and there's going to be a lot of like great.
I think there's content. A link. I think there's a link for putting your questions early too.
Oh, maybe that's how they're going to do it.
Yeah, maybe they'll have a list.
During
People
COVID,
turn themselves off.
Did you go to like any of those town halls, like the ones that they had like every week? I could not believe it, and it was like, but there were always like some crazies would get on the call. I shouldn't call them crazy. They weren't crazy. They were just concerned,
misinformed.
Yeah, some of them. I was just like, anyway. Also, good popcorn.
Yeah.
Event.
And I feel bad because I immediately like asked Erica, who like works for the FDA. I was like, "How is this going to work?" And of course, she didn't respond, and I felt bad doing it on her LinkedIn post because she's just trying to like spread good information.
You're like, "What? What are you doing?" Yeah, don't be the. But it's on February 11th. We'll put a link. I'm getting better at putting like the links and things in our comments. Okay. And it's from 1 to 2 Eastern. It's nice. They made it a little. They used to do ones for like 9 a.m. Eastern, and I'm in California, and I was like, so.
Do you know if it's going to be in person, or if it's just virtual?
I think it's just virtual. I took a screenshot.
That's probably for the best, but it would give me an excuse to go to DC. Although right now there's still like the roads are still terrible, and it's freezing outside.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah. So, San Diego sounds great right now. In comparison,
someone was like, "It's called snow, Allison." I'm like, "How do you say it? Like snow?" San Diego.
There's plenty of.
San Diegans are horrible. We love talking about the weather, and we also are like such jerks when it comes to like.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's room for you back in Australia.
Yeah,
I think just start
like criminal family.
Start walking.
So yeah, general wellness. What were the other things we wanted to come? I feel like there's the blood pressure guidance document, super interesting. Like, yeah, I'll put a link to that as well. I also have finally had time to like go through the general wellness, like the red lines. And I learned a lot. I feel like a lot of folks have been asking some great questions about it. One of the things that I'm curious about and no one really knows is, you know, when Trump administration came in, they pretty much kind of like got rid of a lot of stuff that happened in the Biden administration at the like last year of it, right? Or they were like, nah, all those things, we're going to get rid of those. And some of them was like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have gotten rid of that because it was like for reimbursement for breakthrough. Like people have talked about like TSED and TAP for a while. But then the change that happened, and then the guidance documents and this stuff coming out so rapidly, people have asked like, well, is it going to change back in 3 years? Like, how should we prepare for this? Because there's some companies that are like, we can go straight to market right now with a general wellness product and like really follow the guidance. But then, is that going to change in 3 years? Like, should we be prepared for that? Is this kind of like almost like a emergency use authorization that all of a sudden is going to get yoinked from them, and then they're going to have to start submitting? And I think for like the medical claims, I'm just like, you know, get your 510K in order. Like, do the thing, and get the medical claim that you want as well. But yeah, maybe there's some strategy there to like get something that's marketable.
I've been doing the same thing we were doing for the wellness products we had and some of the EUA. Honestly, EUA is a good one. Was build out your quality system, build your design controls. Don't put together the 510K, but make it so if the FDA, if you get one of those, it has come to our attention letters, which that's usually what they do when they start changing their minds.
Yeah.
Go, cool, it's not going to be shut the company down for a year. You can just put together an E-Star based on the evidence you already have and not slow down and get money while you can. If you know, maybe it's bad regulatory hat on me, but if they're going to throw out things that are so blatantly gray and could change, make your money while you can, and that way you have more money to support doing some of the regulatory stuff later.
Yeah. That's good. That's very sage advice. And I mean the guidance, for the general wellness and like the clinician decision support, and then as we mentioned, I think 2 weeks ago, like the software as a medical device guidance getting pulled, right? Like there's some things that it's just like, wow, there's rapid things happening. The blood pressure guidance though was draft, and I was happy to see that. So they are going to take public comment on that, which is good. But yeah, there were some areas that I'm like, how do they reconcile some of the in both of those guidance documents? So I said it before, but I'm hopeful that the pulling the software one is just to align with the IMDRF one so that they weren't contradictory, because FDA was a big part of making that. So hopefully that's just a point to that. But it was nice to have some of that information. So like you said, save your guidances. I realized that we had sent some companies regulatory strategies that we were just including links to guidances and stuff, and we kind of, with them taking away the software one, I'm like, no, well, let's download these, make them attachments for clients, because if it goes away, they don't live and breathe this every day. They're not going to know where to find that. So, exactly. Actually, I implemented that like a year or two ago, because I realized like some of my team were putting links or just saying like click here, right? And so instead we'll put the full slug like in the footer, and then also save it. And like if we sent a regulatory strategy, we'd send, or say here are the guidance documents and the issue date, because if some things get pulled or some things get updated, folks would be like, or, if FDA came in and inspected, or if folks are looking at your regulatory strategy, they're like, that's not what this new guidance says. And so really having the issue date and making sure that you have the traceability of like what guidance you actually followed is really important. So
that is smart. Yeah.
What's next?
I think shit to talk about. We meant to talk about it last week and we didn't. Mostly because neither of us went. But like JPMorgan was in the middle of January.
Yeah.
And for those I don't know that everyone knows what it is, but it's basically the biggest money health tech conference of the year. And every year all the health tech people hang out in San Francisco and try to raise money for their companies, or it's a lot more business than talking about the bigger pictures of tech, I think. Have you been and actually went to the conference, or did you just do like the satellite stuff?
Just satellite stuff. So yeah, I've been, but it's like either meeting with clients or former clients now, like, or some of the VC parties and stuff. It's just great networking. I think I actually saw more video footage of the conference this year online. Like they actually put more of it publicly available, because I feel like so much of that stuff is just like behind either a paywall or it doesn't get publicized.
Well, I think it also, because it's expensive to go, I think it's gotten such a big reputation to just show up and mingle rather than go. I'm sure the conference people were like, we should advertise what we're talking about a little bit more.
Yeah.
But in terms of kind of big news, to me it was kind of similar type news of things seem to be turning back up into people spending money on health tech again. I think 2025 was a down year, and a little disheartening or scary, honestly, as consultants. Just kind of like, hey, are we? Is money going to be put back into this? But it sounds like it's going to happen.
Yeah. I think so. I think a lot of people were kind of keeping their wallets close last year because there was so much uncertainty. I think tariffs hit a lot of companies hard, right? Or just even trying to figure out like how are we going to scale up, right? Or how are we going to even get some of the testing done? So that was a challenge. But I agree. I feel like the word on the street is that people are starting to spend more and like actually get more investment in tech. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yay.
Especially on the private side, because the other thing might just be, the NIH, all the grants being cut and things like that. I think people had to go kind of restack their decks and figure out what was going on and go look for private funding. So I think maybe that's a shift too.
Yeah.
But
you know who we should have on here is I'm blanking on her name. The one who just got the PMA approved. Oh my gosh.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're the Laguna Hills. You went to a party.
Shreya.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. No, I talked to Shreya about this. Yeah, I think she'd want to be interested.
Well,
no, she'd be great
for so many reasons, but also because she's actually like started a company, fundraised, like gotten it through FDA, like
did the whole thing,
and I feel like you and I are just like we're kind of the suppliers of regulatory love.
I don't know. We see it the whole way. That's the one thing I like.
Yeah, but I don't help with fundraising. Like I help with like letters of support and stuff to like try and help them get money because I'm like, if you get money, then you can hire good regulatory people like Nyla.
Yeah, I think the most I've done is put a bunch of slides and pitch decks of like the costs and how much money they need to execute regulatory strategies. But yeah, I mean, Shreya, I have another client here in Pittsburgh that for Corion, Anna Lee.
Oh yeah, she was at what conference? She was like, I love Michael Diallo. At the end of that, I was like,
she was at Raps.
Yes, yeah. So dynamic. But I loved her.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
like just being charismatic on the mic opens up a lot of doors, and she's so cool. So is Akshaya, who's kind of her business partner. So
that's awesome.
But no, I think that would be a great idea to kind of get the story of what do you do, when finances start to go thin. Like, how do you keep a company going?
Right.
Like that was a 10-year journey for sure.
Yeah, so. And I think the downside is I think some people are, where do they cut costs? And the scary thing is I feel like a lot of companies look at they have to do the testing, right? They know they need the testing to get through FDA, but do they cut cost on quality system, like quality requirements? And that's terrifying to me. Like ages ago, when I first left FDA, I was just like, there was a company that was like, oh no, we don't have a quality system. We just put money aside every month. And when we ultimately will get inspected, we're going to, it's our emergency fund. Then we'll put a quality system together. And I was like, so scary. Like, I shouldn't probably be saying this out loud because people are like, that's a great idea. But I do feel like the things that could negatively impact a lot of people and the users and the patients is like, if something just kind of like, maybe you're like, maybe we don't need to do as many internal, audits. Maybe we don't need to have XYZ meetings as much. Like that's where I get a little nervous. It's like a lot of companies are also saying like, we're just going to go it alone. Like we're going to use ChatGPT to put together our 510K or our pre-submissions. And it's like, I'm all for AI, like use it and use it wisely, but also, oh my gosh, there's some stuff I'm like, that's really scary if I'm like, regulatory is not your most expensive thing. It's the testing that's the most expensive thing. So don't like think that cutting some of the fat, calling us fat, is like this is a terrible idea, right? Yeah, it's scary to me.
I think I do see companies kicking the can down the road on like some of the quality paperwork. Hopefully, because honestly, I think the FDA, leaving the FDA, I think the same, you noticed it too, is focuses more on the pre-market side, a snapshot in time of, are you able to do this? Like in that thing, it's a lot of one-off verification tests and things like that. So and then they trust you, especially on the class 2 products, that you can figure out how to scale, and they'll come, build that quality system again. They'll come back around to check up on you. And so I think a lot of companies are like, especially with funding type, they're like, well, it doesn't matter if we can scale. If we can't get this through the FDA, we don't need to prep for that.
Yeah, we don't even have a product, right?
Yeah, we don't have a product. We don't need this. So I think there is some reasonable pushing down the road, but you're right of like, I think people take it too far and go, well, we can't afford that now, so we're not even going to build requirements. I'm like, no, you need requirements. You need to know what you're building.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think we've seen a lot of the blowback from people trying to cut some of the expenses with using test labs, that they were like, oh, this is so cheap to do our biocomp at this, location that ended up on the FDA's fraudulent list, right? And it's ended up coming back and biting them in the butt, because like FDA has just essentially said, if you've done your testing at these locations, it's like an automatic rejection or technical screening hold, or they just say withdraw it and resubmit, or
at least they're publishing them now. That was a big, because I got caught up in the beginning of that, and we were actually using a lab that the FDA had recommended to us because it was for the pediatric product. They had kind of put it out there as, hey, this is a lab that we've seen with quality reports, and we know that they're significantly cheaper. Maybe you should go check them out instead of big name NAMSA type one. And so we did, and had to redo all the testing. For a solid year, the FDA was not publishing anything about the labs. And it was really like, I was kind of having weekly calls with them, like, this is not fair to these small companies. These are hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of testing that you are without notice. And they're like, well, you should audit the test lab. I'm like, no one's, how?
There are ways, but it's still like, how would I know to go look at the test report and be like, oh, that's fraudulent?
It's not even looking at the test report. It's going to the facilities to make sure that they're actually using your sample.
Right.
Now, there are some where like the results should have been obvious to us, that like, wait a second, we thought this was going to fail cytotox. It's got a cytotoxic agent in it. It's not supposed to be good there, and having it pass. Yeah. But I think there are, that was a tough thing. I'm glad they're starting to be a little bit more transparent about it now.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, again, fear of like, where do you cut money as a CEO, or as like an innovative device that's trying to get through FDA or get to FDA, right? So, time will tell.
So, one thing the other thing we wanted to talk about, just kind of briefly, kind of one of the more important people in our industry passed away earlier this year. Tom Fogarty. Yeah. He, amongst other things, he was just an inventor. He came up with a lot of different cardiovascular medical devices. A thrombus balloon kind of retriever back in the 60s. He also had some aortic abdominal, AAA aneurysm grafts and things, and then really was led, his own incubator institute, which and had the Stanford Biodesign, was a big input there. Shreya's went through it. Our other friend Craig Nichols went through it. Matt Hillenbrenner from the FDA is there now. It's just it's filled with really good people trying to come up with cool medtech stuff. That's I just really liked it. I used, when I taught senior design for biomedical engineers, I used the Stanford Biodesign platform as a good encapsulation of how to get that together. And he was just an important person. He hated the FDA, constantly shouting about it. Hated them, but it was done in a way he'd still respect the opinion.
Yeah.
And just tell them they were dumb. He wasn't it wasn't quiet about it, but hated it. But he was still I think also valued it, and it was, I don't know, he was an interesting, smart human being that had a lot of, giving a sports analogy, his coaching tree, the people he mentored are still really important in the space, and I think I don't know. I think he was an important.
Pour one out.
Pour it out.
How do I have to open my cup. This is my micro mug. This is
that's nice.
Of all the swag. Thanks, Micro.
You know what? When you see me in my office, they sent me a Yeti coffee one too, and I use it all the time. Although I put a bunch of stickers on it because I didn't want to advertise Micra on all my phone calls with
No
my clients.
shame.
Yeah.
Micra. An IQVIA
Oh.
company. Hashtag not sponsored
Sure.
content. This is not sponsored.
Yeah.
This is not a podcast.
Yeah. This is not a podcast. Ben Eloff put in the chat that Michelle Tarver also did a fellowship at the at Fogarty, which that's awesome because that's even speaks more to that program because Michelle Tarver is awesome. So
yeah,
cool. But I think that was the last thing we had on the. Oh, you said you had another joke, and I had a fun fact that I learned this week that I think I'd relearned, and I'm going to share that one.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know pirates wore eye patches not because they like lost an eye? Generally, it was. It's because it's so bright above the deck, so they'd have one eye like focus on that, and when they'd have to go below deck really quickly, they'd switch the eye patch so that they didn't have like 20 seconds of adjusting and going like blind from the back and forth. And that's why pirates wore eye patches, not because they had a parrot peck one out or something.
That's really smart.
I know.
Why don't
I was like,
we should. I mean, that's a great. Maybe I'm gonna institute that in my car because though I don't want to be driving with one eye. Though I did not know this.
Somewhat important.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we could do a whole medical device about like, and I see Lee's on the. We could do like whole ophthalmology shout. You know, like all the cool devices that are coming out in the eyeballs. But my eye doctor told me the other day, like, you can just take one contact out and like then that way you can like focus and then, you know, one and the other. And I'm like, I think that would be so distracting, but maybe I'm going to try it. And then I'm going to just talk to you guys like this the whole time.
Ben Franklin invented bifocals, right? It's kind of the same idea.
Yeah. We should talk about some like really old devices out there. Oh, no, one other thing I was going to talk about today. If you're not following the FDA Instagram and like LinkedIn
you told me this last time.
You got to do it. There was like, what's her face? That's not polite. What's her name?
That thing was terrifying. I don't know if I want to recommend people follow this. It's going to really.
Well, I think it's important because you also get to see like what they're promoting, right? Like what they're saying, and so I think that's really important to know. Like, what's the news on the street? So Sarah Brenner, Dr. Brenner, who's the principal deputy commissioner, also had one where it's like the music for Bridgerton. I swear, like it's a very intense like video. And then also McCary had one coming out about like his like this is the new FDA or something like that. And they also are coming out with the new logo for the 120 year. And they have this like small video where they talk about the whole meaning behind all the things of the FDA seal. And I love stuff like that. I love symbolism. And I mean, I was in a sorority and we talk all about the symbolism of all our things that we have. But I loved like, you know, the stars. There's 8 stars, and that'll be your pop quiz next week. Like, why are there 8 stars? And then there's like a DNA strand and like wheat because it's agriculture. Anyway, big fan. I love stuff like that. So
Cool.
If you're not following them, there's a plug. Especially because they fired all the PR people last year. So I'm like, who's doing it now? Someone's putting some nice edited videos together. What was that guy, Big Balls or whatever? Like one of the Doge kids? No, it's probably way beneath him putting these videos together. But do you remember like when Jeff Shuren had a video and he was like in a microwave or like the camera was in a microwave and he's like, we regulate these.
That was great, actually. Yeah.
It was so good. I was like, can't make this shit up. I mean, you can because they did. Anyway,
they did.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I think that's all I got too for this week. You said we're going to set up the weekly email list. Oh, we did. I don't know if we talked about this on camera, but for if you don't want to put it in the LinkedIn comments that you want to be out of the feel free to DM Allison or I. We can
slide into our
add
DMs.
You to the list. I don't know. There's some people are weird about putting public comments on LinkedIn, so feel free to do that if you still want to listen in. We're just trying to be less intrusive to your LinkedIn feed by blasting this every week.
Yeah, and hopefully, I think if I just do it through like the publishing software, it'll be easier because then we won't have to do this like weird connection thing to LinkedIn Live Studio.
I do like the comments, but maybe they'll still show up somewhere else.
They'll still show up. We'll have that. It'll be it'll be a link. Yeah, because otherwise people were like, "Oh, I missed your second one," because I didn't know. Like I had said yes, but then there was no thing to put it in my calendar. So I'm like, okay.
Lee said he has a ridiculous number of ophthalmology jokes, and I kind of want to make sure we get a couple of them for the line them up for us.
And Lee, I mean, you have been flagged as one of the people that we will likely have as a guest, so prepare yourself.
Cool. All right. Well, enjoy all the beautiful weather in San Diego. We'll try to dig ourselves out of the snow here in Pittsburgh. And I'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.